Welcome to section 1.4 day 1, the distributive property. This is another one of our properties of equality, and I believe it is our 12th property of equality we're learning. So today's objective is to use the distributive property to simplify expressions. So the distributive property is used to simplify when we have a product of a number and then we're multiplying into a sum or a difference. So in the first one we have simplify 3 multiplied by x plus 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to distribute over addition because we have addition inside our parentheses. We're going to multiply the 3 over addition. So we take 3, and we're going to have times x and 3 times 7. So we get 3x plus 3 times 7. We have now distributed the 3 into x plus 7. And then we simplify. And we get 3x plus 21. And we can also do this in sort of like backwards, if you want to look at it that way. Here we have 2x minus 14 in parentheses multiplied by 5 on the outside. We can bring this in like this. So now we have 5 times 2x minus 5 times 14. And for this assignment we're doing today, and what we're doing throughout this chapter, you need to show us that you're distributing into the parentheses. So we need to see that you do this. Now we can simplify. We have 5 times 2x, which is 10x. And we have 5 times 14, which is 70. So we have 10x minus 70. This is an example of how we use the distributive property to simplify expressions. And when we talk about simplifying, we want to get rid of parentheses. We want to make it in the most simple form where we aren't having to use all these different grouping symbols. Looking at the distributive property in mathematical terms, this is how it is defined. So you might see this in your future. So I want to show you what it looks like. And it just says if we have numbers a, b, and c, and they're real numbers, then if we have a multiplied by b plus c, when you multiply it in, you get ab plus ac. If the numbers were rearranged and we had b plus c times a, you could write it as ba plus ca, and the a and the b order and the c and the order doesn't really matter. And then when we do a and multiply into a difference of b minus c, we get the same idea. It's ab minus ac. If we have whatever we're multiplying in on the right side, we're going to bring it in. We'll have ba minus ca. Because of our commutative property, we could write it as ab minus ac also, because commutative property lets us rearrange in multiplication. So we can use our distributive property sort of in reverse to change from division to multiplication. So if we have 3x plus 1 over 5, we can rewrite this, because it's like saying that 3x plus 1 is multiplied by 1 over 5. So we can rewrite this like this. We have 1/5, and we have in parentheses now 3x plus 1. We can then take this 1/5 and distribute it into the parentheses. And we get this. So now we have 1/5 times 3x plus 1/5 times 1. Then we can simplify these by actually making 1/5 times 3x and 1/5 times 1. And we get 3x over 5 plus 1/5. So now we've taken this division problem and we've rewritten it by changing to multiplying by a fraction. And now we've changed it, so now we have two terms, and we have 3x over 5 plus 1/5. When we have a negative sign outside of a parentheses, it is like we are multiplying by -1. Even though the 1 is not written there, it is there. We have the opposite of 6y minus 7 in parentheses. We can rewrite that as -1 multiplied by 6y minus 7, and then distribute the -1 into the 6y and the 7. When we do that, we have -1 times 6y is -6y. -1 times -7 is +7. So we've distributed the negative into the parentheses. Another thing we can do with distributive property is we can use this to solve problems by using mental math. And I actually use this quite a bit when I'm in a store. Is multiplying 4 times 395 is not the easiest thing to do in your head. But we can rewrite 395 as a whole dollar amount minus some amount of pennies. So here we have now 4 multiplied by $4 minus 5 cents. So 4 times 4 is much easier to do than multiplying times 395. And if we take 4 times 4 and we take 4 times 5 cents, we get 16 minus 20 cents, and we get $15.80. So this is one of those things you can do. I'm not sure how many of you have done this in the past. I do it all the time when I'm trying to estimate things, or if I'm going to the store and I want to see what I'm buying, I will use this in my head to make my math easier. I know a lot of you now will just probably pull out your phones to do it, but you can do this in your head. And the more you guys understand number sense and can do these things without having to use a calculator, the easier the rest of this year is going to go. So please try to do some of these things, these tricks we teach you, these methods we teach you, because it will help you get a better grasp of mathematics and make math easier for you as you go forward. Today we have done section 1.4 day 1. We're looking at the beginning of the distributive property, where we have multiplication into some parentheses that have addition or subtraction inside them. We can then use this distributive property to simplify the expression to get rid of the parentheses. Because by simplifying, we want to get rid of the parentheses to make it easier to work with. That is all there is for today's section 1.4. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.